What if the unthinkable was quietly brewing behind the scenes of the NBA's fiercest rivalries? Imagine this: the Golden State Warriors, led by none other than Stephen Curry, the sharpshooting maestro who revolutionized the game, eyeing a seismic shift in the league's landscape by courting the king himself, LeBron James. Yes, you heard that right. The very man who's been the heartbeat of the Los Angeles Lakers for nearly 2 decades, pushing the purple and gold into championship glory, suddenly a target for the Warriors' ultimate recalibration. Sounds like a wild fantasy? Well, buckle up, Lakers Nation, because this isn't just a rumor swirling in the ether. It's a blazing truth from inside NBA's inner sanctums. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truths collide. With purple and gold passion, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. Now, lean in. According to respected NBA insider Jake Fisher, the Golden State Warriors have made multiple attempts throughout the past year to snag LeBron James, one of the sport's all-time greats. The strange part? These efforts were no late-game hail. Marys, they were calculated, audacious strikes from a franchise desperate to assemble what could be the most electrifying big three in recent memory: LeBron James, alongside Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. But here's the twist. Despite the Warriors' relentless pursuit, the deal never got traction. Why? Because LeBron himself decided to pull the brakes, exercising his player option to remain with the Lakers for the 2025-26 season. That's right, 40-year-old king. James isn't ready to hang up his crown just yet. Think about that for a second. The Warriors, a team that shaped the modern NBA with its splash-heavy style and championship pedigree, actually knocked on the door of the purple and gold's throne room, attempting to unseat one of the greatest players in Lakers history from his own royal seat. It's almost unthinkable. But dig deeper and you see why this storyline is so layered. Back in February 2024, the Warriors' front office made a bold push to acquire LeBron. ESPN's Brian Windhorst, a voice you trust, for breaking NBA scoops, told us these talks were swiftly shut down, with the Lakers firmly drawing their line in the sand. Warriors dreamed of merging their sharpshooters and defensive anchors with LeBron's unparalleled versatility and veteran savvy, creating a juggernaut that could redefine dominance in the Western Conference. But here's the sticking point. That contract expiration, mid-2026, is the real chessboard. Should LeBron opt to delay retirement and instead hit unrestricted free agency, all bets are off. Suddenly, the NBA shifts into a frenzy, with franchises scheming to bring the second greatest player in league history into their fold. Does LeBron remain loyal to the Lakers, or will the allure of a fresh quest tempt him elsewhere? And that's the million-dollar question. Now let's add another layer. As veteran reporter Chris Fedor shared, LeBron's retirement announcement is expected to be a spectacle unlike any other, coming before the start of a season, not in an off-season after fading quietly. Think tours, tributes, the kind of send-off, reserved for legends who've shaped the sport's legacy. He's craving not just to step down, but to leave an indelible mark, a farewell that spills beyond mere stats and trophies. But here's the detail no one's talking about. Despite the Lakers' turbulence, the reshuffling of the roster around him, the whispered NBA trade rumors, the relentless pressure from Western Conference rivals, LeBron appears locked in on one goal: chasing more rings with this franchise. He's not looking to kill time. Every minute counts as he fashions his final chapters in the City of Angels. Speaking of roster shakeups, the Lakers' current lineup is a peculiar blend of seasoned stars and fresh talent. Anthony Davis is still a force inside, stirring paint dominance and rim protection, while rising stars like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura provide crucial spark and hustle. Add in Dennis Schroeder's veteran playmaking, Gabe Vincent's clutch shooting, and Lonnie Walker-Furr's versatile scoring, and this squad has intrigue despite uncertainties. But the front office faces immense pressure. navigating the wild tides of trade rumors and buyouts in a fierce Western arms race where contenders hungry for championships are retooling aggressively. Each decision feels like walking a tightrope between instant glory and the looming threat of missing a wide-open window. Cast your mind back to Lakers history, the Showtime era, dazzling with magic and flair, the dominant Shaq-Kobe dynasty that terrorized opponents, the Pau Gasol years, mixing experience with grit. And of course, the unforgettable 2020 Bubble Championship that showcased resilience amidst global chaos. Every Lakers era has been defined by a signature lineup, a transformative move that seized the moment. Could adding LeBron to Golden State's juggernaut have been just that? Could these whispers hint at seismic power shifts lying dormant under the surface of the league's calm exterior? And now, the Lakers stand at a crossroads. The possibility that LeBron might leave stokes every fan's deepest fears, yet envisioning King James embarking on a farewell tour anchored solely in purple and gold fuels a different kind of hope. Is this where destiny and pragmatism collide? Are the Lakers about to reel in an exciting boost, or has the clock started ticking ominously on their last best shot with LeBron? As a lifelong Lakers believer, I can't help but feel we're on the edge of something massive, a moment where history meets the present with a charged energy that only the purple and gold could conjure. But is this the move that launches a new Lakers era, or the gamble that haunts us for years to come? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. How much longer can Lakers fans stomach this chaos? Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, because what just dropped might turn the entire playoff picture into a war zone none of us saw coming. The fallout from that blockbuster move isn't just shaking the Lakers' locker room, it's tearing apart the very blueprint AD and Bron leaned on last season, and it raises a burning question. Can this version of the purple and gold weather the storm before December? Turns into May. We've seen legends fall apart over chemistry before. Remember the rocky magic of Kobe's final years? The 2012 trade deadline turmoil that nearly broke the franchise's spirit, and the bubble's high-stakes madness? History whispers warnings, louder than ever. With so many moving pieces now swirling, what does it mean for the rotation? Will the new additions complement LeBron's all-in-court generalship, or will the shadows of forced fits creep back in like a bad sequel nobody asked for? The playoff race out west just got murkier. Denver's youth might exploit any Lakers hiccup, while the Suns and Warriors lurk, hungry and battle-scarred, ready to pounce on every weakness. And while the headline makers debate star power alignment, here's the part nobody's talking about, the silent ripple effect on the Lakers' defensive identity. Can Frank Vogel's defensive principles survive when the perimeter now looks thinner? Or are we set up for another season of defensive lapses that haunt late-game possessions? This isn't just about scoring, remember. Championships are often forged or lost on how a team guards its basket. Defense is a system, not a speech. Point of attack containment, nail help without surrendering the corner, early tags on rollers, scram switches to rescue mismatches, 5 bodies rebounding as one. If the wings lose half a step or the guards get peeled off in straight lines, AD's cape gets pulled too often, and the rim becomes a revolving door. That's the butterfly effect nobody wants to face. One leak at the top turns into a flood at the cup, and suddenly you're living in rotation, giving up rhythm threes and praying the last shot bails you out. Zoom in on the perimeter, and it's more than names, it's geometry. Thinner length means less disruption at the nail, less shadow on passing lanes, fewer deflections that fuel your transition game. If the point of attack isn't sturdy, your drop coverage stretches like taffy. Help comes a beat early, the slot opens and weak side X-outs get longer and sloppier. Switch too much without the right bodies and you're conceding deep seals. Switch too little and elite handlers walk you down into comfortable pull-ups. The margin is microscopic. One missed top lock, one late stunt, and a decent defensive possession becomes a second-chance putback that breaks the crowd's back. The Lakers' identity has always felt most real when you hear the talk, low man, ice it, blue, blue, and see 5 purple and gold jerseys move like a single organism. The question is whether this reshaped group can still hum at that frequency when the calendar forces real coverages against real stars. Meanwhile, inside the front office, the chatter is beyond trades, strategic patience versus all-in desperation. Is igniting boardroom drama that echoes the LeBron-era decision-making dilemmas of old. How many picks are you willing to staple to a salary to clean a fit issue? Do you preserve optionality for the next disgruntled star, or cash chips for the role player who solves Thursday night in Memphis? The first apron, the second apron, hard cap, landmines. Every move is a cost-benefit spreadsheet stapled to a scouting report. Could impatience disrupt not just this season, but the next 3 summers too? That's the real stakes. Whiff now, and you're not just burning a homestand. You're dimming the lights on 2026, flexibility, shrinking the funnel of available upgrades, and inviting a treadmill future where you're good enough to hope, but never built to last. Cap space, draft picks, and a fan base starved for glory. Every call feels like walking a razor's edge. Rotate too slowly and you bleed value. Rotate too quickly and you mortgage tomorrow for a theoretical fit that evaporates in May. And under all of it is the unglamorous truth, role definition. Stars should own the menu, but role players have to cook the sides perfectly. If a spacer starts pump-faking open threes, your spacing collapses. If a backup 5 can't set a screen without drifting, your timing dies. If the 8th man takes a heat check at the exact moment your defense needs a 2-for-1 stop, your game script flips. These are the hidden places where seasons teeter. What about chemistry with new faces integrating right as the season builds momentum? Training camp sparks are real, but so son las llamas falsas. It's easy to look synchronized in October drills. It's something else to defend a stagger into Spain pick and roll on the second night of a back-to-back when your legs sting and a ref decides verticality is a rumor. Are these sparks the start of something explosive, or will shattered? Trust and clashing egos blow the whole thing up by January. Rotations tighten, touches shrink, and roles harden under pressure. If the buy-in cracks, if one guy hunts stats while another guy silently resents touches disappearing, January becomes a chemistry audit no one wants to take. The Western Conference is an unforgiving beast. The margin for error evaporates faster than a fourth-quarter lead against Warriors with championship medal. Every matchup is a test. Bigger teams bully you on the glass. 5-out offenses drag your bigs into water. Heliocentric stars force your weakest defender into a nightly trial by fire. Scouting gets cruelly specific in the West. They will target your worst screen navigator, hammer your shortest closeout, and spin your bench unit until somebody blinks. The math punishes softness. Lose the possession battle by 5 and you need to shoot like the Splash Brothers to break even. That's not a plan. That's a prayer. So, is this reshaped Lakers squad the rebirth of a dynasty, crafting a new era of showtime for fans, hungry to chase down the ghost of championships past? A version where the defense re-hardens at the elbows, the bench minutes break even instead of breaking down, and the late-game ATOs turn into clean looks because the screening is violent and the spacing is honest. Or is it the latest chapter in a saga of fractured hopes and fractured lineups that will leave purple and gold hearts broken yet again, another spring where, if only we had one more stopper, one more rebound, one more grown man screen becomes the eulogy? Here's the uncomfortable middle nobody wants to admit. Both futures live inside the same choices. If the staff stamps out a defensive grammar, clear rules, quick hooks for rule breakers, praise for the quiet winning plays, identity will grow. If the front office resists the itch for headline trades and instead stitches 2 or 3 low-ego fits around AD and LeBron, the defense can breathe and the offense can flow. But if impatience wins, if the team chases names instead of jobs, if the rotation tries to be everything at once, then the season becomes a collection of heroic escapes instead of a sustainable march. And don't sleep on fatigue management. The way you budget minutes in December determines whether legs are juice or jelly in May. Overextend the stars to cover defensive leaks, and you mortgage the very finishing kick you're trying to protect. That's why the boring stuff matters. Second unit rebounding rates, free throw box outs, cut off baseline traps, communication on weak side switches. Stack enough of those micro wins and the macro picture flips. Ignore them, and you start living in the land of moral victories and narrow losses. I can feel history flexing its muscle on this franchise right now, the weight of every single decision, every single lineup tweak, bearing down like a playoff. Buzzer beater with the whole season hanging in the balance. The ghost of banners past never really leaves this building. It stares down from the rafters and asks a simple question. Are you serious about the boring parts that make rings real? Because if you are, the rest tends to follow. If you aren't, the West will expose it by Christmas. Drop your rawest takes in the comments. Tell me your defensive pairing that survives a 7-game trench war, your bench lineup that wins the non-AD minutes, your one adjustment that flips our clutch time rating. Are we watching a masterstroke of genius or the unraveling of a team too fractured to hold it all together? Give me your closing 5, your coverage menu, your ATO pet plays. I'll be right there with you, caught in the eye of this Lakers storm, every pulse-pounding second of it, charting the trends, calling out the cracks, and searching for the moment when a good plan turns into a great run.